Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and today we're taking a look at a brand new pedal from Coffee Shop Pedals up in Canada. It is their Portafilter dual programmable overdrive. Coffee Shop Pedals is, I believe, a one-man show up in Canada, a really small operation up there, and it's been kind of cool to just see the growth and the evolution of the brand and the product line. I remember demoing one of the first pedals they released. I think it's the Donut Shop, pretty straightforward 3-knob overdrive. That was their take on the Bluesbreaker circuit. And so it's been fun to have the Portafilter in here and just get to kind of see and feel and hear firsthand that evolution in product design, in sounds and features, and just kind of the way that they've approached designing and releasing pedals over the last few years. And so we're going to dive into Portafilter today. It's a really cool concept. I think a really useful and valuable pedal if you are someone who kind of gravitates towards those three main overdrive sounds and styles. Portafilter basically packages two identical drive circuits that are able to be stacked and tweaked and kind of refined in a number of different ways. So we're going to give an overview of the Portafilter, talk about some of the features and functions of the pedal, and then give you some sounds from each of the three modes in it as we go along here. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. Please hit subscribe below so you can stay up to date on future videos, and it just kind of helps my videos get seen by my audience and allows us to kind of stay connected that way. So I appreciate that, and please drop any questions or comments you've got below as we go through here in the comments, and we can talk there. Portafilter is essentially a dual overdrive that gives you two identical overdrive circuits, 1 and 2 here, and it lets you choose between a Tubescreamer, Bluesbreaker, or Klon Centaur style overdrive. You have 4 knobs for each side that allow you to adjust bass, treble, volume, and gain, and then you have a series of push buttons here that allow you to select the mode of overdrive you're in, the mids control, and a clipping control as well. The mids button lets you select either flat, scooped, or boosted mid-range frequencies, and then the clipping control lets you either have soft or hard style clipping. These are just going to allow you to fine-tune the kind of EQ response of your circuits, as well as just the texture and the feel of the saturation. So you can customize and kind of tailor those overdrive sounds on each side to your liking. Dial in 2 separate and different sounds on each side, or set them up to be stacked to give you kind of a 2 or 3 gain stage approach. You also have a toggle in the middle that will switch the order of the cascading overdrive circuits, whether you want 1 going into 2 or 2 going into 1. This just allows for a little bit different flavor and different texture as you're stacking the overdrives together. The Portafilter also features MIDI through 3.5mm jack up on the top here. You have presets on the face of this pedal that you can cycle through. You enter preset mode by holding this right foot switch, and then you can cycle down or up through the presets with each of the switches there. And so you really have a bunch of different ways to customize your overdrive sounds with this, to create presets or to create scenarios where you can stack both sides to get more interesting or more nuanced overdrive sounds with that, and to be able to run it live and have that flexibility to gain stage right on one pedal here. So we're going to go through some of the sounds from Portafilter here. We're going to show you each of the 3 modes and also a scenario where we're stacking both of them. I'm going to be using my 72 Tele Deluxe with gold foils, and we're going to run that into Portafilter and then onto Keeley Zoma for a little bit of reverb. That's all running into the Walrus ACS1 Mark II set to Fender style amp tone. And we're going to start by exploring the Tubescreamer style circuit. It has that classic kind of mid hump. It definitely can get edgy and can cut through the mix really well with that mid-range focus, and you can get great sounds from lower gain all the way to kind of screaming overdrive sounds. So let's hear that now. Next up is the Bluesbreaker style circuit. It's one of my favorite styles of overdrives because it's a pretty versatile texture. You can get a lot of use out of the lower gain settings in this overdrive. You can also maybe incorporate that mids control or switch over to the hard clipping, turn the gain up and get some nice full rich mid gain overdrive textures. So we're going to check out the Bluesbreaker side now. Last up is the Klon Centaur, and that's going to be a little bit stiffer than the Bluesbreaker that we just heard. It's loved by a lot of folks for that kind of always-on sparkle boost with the gain turned down low, but some folks also like it to just crank that gain and get some really raw kind of cutting overdrive sound. So we're going to hear it across that range of tones and just kind of see how versatile the Klon style circuit can be in this pedal. Finally, let's check out how you can utilize both sides of the portafilter and this order switch in the middle to get some variations in stacked overdrive sounds and to just kind of give you versatility to be able to have access to both of those unique overdrive sounds in overdrive 1 and overdrive 2. Let's check it out. So that's the portafilter, the new dual programmable overdrive from Coffee Shop Pedals. It again features those 3 classic overdrive circuits, and you get a pair of them, so you can kind of tweak and refine and customize each side to your preference, and then utilize them in different scenarios, whether it be stacked or individually, to create a whole range of overdriven sounds. Check it out. I'll link to the website below for Coffee Shop Pedals there, and drop any questions or comments you've got about the video here, or the sounds you heard, or this pedal. We can chat down in the comments. Thanks for watching.